So what you've got is a lot of people questioning all their premises, and rising through that chaos is a new idea. And the new idea is,
hello everyone and welcome to the Daily Crypto. We are joined by the ex-CEO of Microstrategy, Michael Saylor, who is going to share his thoughts on why Bitcoin is necessary during time like these. So make sure to watch the full video because you really don't want to miss out on what he has to say. But before we get started, let's see where the fear and greed index is at today. Currently it is at 21, down from yesterday's 24. This is because investors are growing more and more concerned as Bitcoin seems to be hanging by a thread at this point. As of recording this video, Bitcoin and Ethereum are trading for $19,070 and $1,315 respectively. With that being said, let's get right into the video.
conventional ideas like, oh, I'm just going to store my value by buying property. That's kind of broken in a lot of places. People are losing faith in just investing in property when you see the gyrations of this property. The conventional idea, I'm going to buy S&P index stocks. Well, the S&P is slightly up. NASDAQ is flat over the last 2 years. It blasted up and then it blasted down. So what you've got is a lot of people questioning all their premises, and rising through that chaos is a new idea. And the new idea is, what if I can encrypt energy? What if I can encrypt money such that nobody on earth, no government can debase it, no corporation can steal it? I don't trust anybody. People don't trust governments, right? We're at an all-time low in public trust of institutions. It doesn't matter what government. And they don't trust companies. And why? For good reason, because companies are influenced by governments, right? Right? If you're in America, you're certainly not going to trust a company in China. And if you're in China, you're certainly not going to trust a company in America. And then, a lot of people that don't trust domestic companies, and the Europeans and the Australians don't trust American companies either.
Bitcoin is the financial revolution that will remove third parties altogether. Every day people are losing faith in custodians and banks because they have the power to basically confiscate everything you've ever owned in a blink of an eye. Bitcoin has opened everyone's eyes and has introduced them to a new world where individuals can have full ownership and custody of their assets.
The crazy, volatile Bitcoin is the best performing of all those major assets. And then you can say to yourself, well, I'm just going to invest in stocks. Okay, let's look at big tech. Google's up 37%, Apple's up 32%, Microsoft's up 16%, Amazon is down 22%, Facebook is down 45%, and Netflix is down 52%. Okay, little MicroStrategy, no one ever heard of, up 66%. Would you have guessed that a mid-sized software company, low-growth mid-sized software company nobody ever heard of, would outperform Google in the last 2 years by a factor of 2? And so last point I make, we compete against companies 100 times as big as us. Oracle, 100 times bigger than us. They're up 25%, IBM's up 3%, Salesforce is down 23%, SAP's down 47%. Okay, so what is the lesson of that? The lesson is, we're in the middle of chaos. There is no place to hide. Your choice is, you could buy gold, but gold is dead metal and it's just getting ground into the dirt, right? I can seize your gold. Gold is, the half-life of money in gold is 35 years. And you can't put gold on 8 billion iPhones.
Even though Bitcoin is highly volatile, it has outperformed almost every other stock if we look at it yearly. Michael believes it is the future and will replace physical gold, which is now outdated. Bitcoin can be stored on a phone and it can be used to make transactions in a second, thus earning it the nickname of digital gold.
So the problem is there's no tech in gold, and it was a good idea in the 19th century, and it's centralized, governments can seize it, and the gold miners keep debasing it. They keep mining more gold, right? In the best year, you get 2% more. In the worst year, someone seizes a bunch of gold, dump it on the market, you get more than 2%. So people are looking for a safe haven. What's it going to be? Property in Africa? Property in Venezuela? You can't have property in North Korea. Property in Argentina? A business? A business where? A business in Argentina where the currency collapses? What good are your cash flows if the currency that you generate the cash flows are collapses in value? So I think here's the big idea, really big idea. Everybody in the world has to decide where they're going to locate their family. They have to physically, they have to decide where they're going to locate their themselves in cyberspace, their mind.
There are assets that can be used as a store of value like real estate and businesses, but they're all dependent on the governmental bodies as they have the power to control these assets however they want to. Imagine owning a business in Zimbabwe or Argentina, where there is a severe currency crisis. No one will be safe other than those who chose to use Bitcoin as a store of value.
You know, if you look at one of the more interesting things, right? The 2-year, you know, the 2-year treasury was 16 basis points a year ago, and it's currently like 3.9%. We went from 16 basis points to 390 basis points on short-term money. The mortgage rate on a 30-year mortgage, you know, has gone from 2.7% to 6% in 12 months, right? The yield curve is inverted. You get paid higher interest on a 2-year loan to the federal government than on a 30-year loan. The 30-year loan is 350 basis points. So summary of all this, we had an unprecedented expansion of the money supply in March of 2020, where we just pegged interest rates to zero. And the bankers said, we're going to keep interest rates at zero for the next 4 years. They literally implied, they said, not until 2024 will we raise interest rates. Okay, well, that's one panic. And now we've got the other extreme, which is the fastest tightening of the money supply, like one of those oh crap moments. Oops, I think we overdid it on one side. Now we overdid it on the other side. And what you see is risk assets, they're all getting hammered down.
With the Fed not looking to stop hiking interest rates anytime soon, the economy is getting hammered and people are no longer able to afford the monthly payments for their houses. This goes to show how big of a risk people are taking by not looking for a safe asset that will protect them from future financial distress.
But I think that in 2020, I realized the half-life of money, the half-life of energy or wealth stored in the currency was 36 to 48 months. So I looked at $500 million and I said, $500 million stored in US dollars at a 15 to 20% monetary inflation rate, you know, divide 20% into 70, right? The rule is 70, and you'll think, okay, got 3.5 years and half of it's gone. So I think I got to that point. And the significance of that for me, Brian, was I realized at that point that holding 500 million in cash at a 15% monetary inflation rate means that you lose 75 million a year on your balance sheet. And the best I could hope for is 2,000 people working themselves to death, doing 100,000 things right every year, everywhere in the world. And if we didn't screw up anything, and if everybody worked themselves to the bone, we could make 75 million.
Right.
So I had this inflection point where I realized everything we're going to do for the rest of our lives is going to be negated by the inflation on our balance sheet. And that's the point of hope, despair, and indifference, where you're like, it just doesn't matter what we do for the next decade because we can't get ahead.
Michael Saylor became a Bitcoin maxi when he started to learn about it in detail. He realized very quickly how this could solve one of the biggest problems in modern investing, which is beating inflation. He could see it being a hedge against inflation, as it will continue to become deflationary as more and more people hop on. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another video. See you guys in the next one.